Hello everyone, let's talk about cross-country skiing. So I'm in Borlana again, which is near Barryhua in between Hudiksvall and Sundsvall, and it is a wonderful place to go cross-country skiing because there's a huge lake and it's frozen over and then it's got snow all over it and you can just go right out there. So I've been cross-country skiing with Alex's dad, and the first time we went 5Ks around the little island that's in the lake, and that was really amazing because the landscape is something that I've never seen before or could really imagine, because you've got a lake and it's frozen and there's snow on it and the lake's so huge, and it's just, you look out and there's just a flat plain with that's completely white, so you get the feeling of being in the middle of a desert of snow, and it's just really incredible. It completely changes the feel of the landscape. So it's going to be really weird coming back in summer, and the lake's gonna be water, and I think it's gonna feel a lot smaller because standing out there on the snow, it feels so vast, incomprehensible. Yeah. So people who don't know what cross-country skiing is, well, it's where you go skiing not down a big mountain, but you go into the forest and things, and you go up and down and you go flat, and it's basically like power walking but with skis, and you go really far without much time, I think. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really checked what speed we were going at, but yeah. And the skis are special type of skis, because your usual downhill skis, you have your ski there and then your boot is firmly clamped onto the ski. But with the cross-country skis, it's only clamped on at one part, so then you can lift your foot like this. Yeah. And that allows for the walking motion. The next best thing about cross-country skiing is that you use lots of arm muscles, and so if you were running or something, I guess you wouldn't really use your arm muscles that much, but in cross-country skiing you do, because you got your two sticks and you're pushing yourself along sometimes, and sometimes you can do the thing where like you stab your sticks into the ground while you poles, and then you just push yourself off, and you end up going a long way without really feeling like you've done that much work, except that your arms hurt. Yeah, but like, for instance, if you picked running as your activity of choice, you would be running along and then your lungs would be burning and like you just want to fall over and you might like throw up or something because you're exhausted. But with cross-country skiing, you get all like really sweaty and tired and muscles sore and things, but you don't feel exhausted in your head or your throat or anything. So I think that's a real big difference that I appreciate. the next, probably the best thing about cross-country skiing is that you get to see lots of animal tracks. So yesterday, me and Shell, we went out into the forest, and then we saw all these places where these moose had slept, and so the snow's there, but then it's all packed down, and you can see like their hoof marks in the ground, and then there was like so many piles of poop, and it was so awesome. And we reckon that there must have been like 10 moose there, but it could have just been like 3 moose, but that they came back a different night and slept in a different place. But I like the idea that it's 10 of them more. And I also see lots of hare tracks and normal deer tracks, and sometimes some dog tracks, because there are some dogs around here. But the last thing that is really important about cross-country skiing, and just being in Sweden in general, is that if you want to blend into the Swedish culture and way of life, and you want to get along with Swedish people, so what you need to do is you need to get really angry about people stepping in cross-country ski tracks. For instance, let's say that you've made a Swedish friend, and you guys are talking, and you're talking about like the ups and downs of life, and you know, they'll maybe talking about like, you know, I'm not really all that into it and things, you know, everything's kind of not so great all the time and things. But then you can say to them, yeah, I totally agree, but like what's really sick and what really makes me so mad is when people walk in cross-country ski tracks, and that friend of yours, they'll be like, you know what, you are so right, that is so relevant, and I can just completely relate. It's like we're on the same wavelength. So they will just think that you're like their soulmate, basically. So go to Sweden, make sure that you get mad about people stepping in cross-country ski tracks. And it doesn't even have to be your tracks, but if you're just out walking and you see footprints in a track, how could they? Yeah, so if you keep that in mind, you should get on pretty well in Sweden, actually. Like, you could have really bad social skills, and I think that you would be really alright. So that's good. Okay, that's my #1 top tip for cross-country skiing. Okay, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Yeah, it's the weekend now. Cool. I'm not going to do anything. Okay, hey door.